Hopefully. Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. If you're already live with us on That's Football, they'll be saying, what are you talking about? We are obviously now live here on the United Stand as well. It's final day of the Premier League and you're all very, very welcome here. I've got 2 live chats on the go. I might bin off That's Football in a minute because they're moaning about the camera, whereas on the United Stand, you have got the premium camera option. But look, it's an interesting final day. The way things look at the moment, if Arsenal are going to win the league, nothing's going to stop that. But Man City, if they beat Aston Villa and Liverpool beat Brentford, then Brighton and Bournemouth fight it out for 6th place to go into the Champions League. If Liverpool don't beat Brentford and Villa lose, then there is no 6th spot for the Champions League. So Villa need to drop to 5th and Liverpool need to go to 4th for Bournemouth or Brighton to get Champions League football. And the race at the bottom for relegation, look, it comes down to very simple maths. If Everton beat Spurs, then West Ham have a chance. If Everton beat Spurs and West Ham don't beat Leeds, Spurs stay up. If Spurs draw or win, Spurs stay up. It's really simple. So it's a big final day. There is also, what about Chelsea? Somebody just said, what about Chelsea? What about Chelsea? Chelsea are in a position where they can still get... Well, look, I need to speak to the chat here. I need to speak to the chat. You need to tell me because I have got no idea how this works out. So Chelsea are in 8th place at the moment. If they win and Brighton lose, they can get to 7th, which is Europa League football. I think 6th and 7th are Europa League football at the moment, unless Villa drop to 5th, and then 7th and 8th are Europa League football, and 9th is Conference League. At the moment, Chelsea are in 8th in a Conference League position, but they're playing Sunderland in 10th, who, if they win, go past Chelsea. Of course, Brentford are at Liverpool. They can move up as well. So, although we don't have a title race and we don't have a top 5 race, we do have some very interesting things going on in the relegation spots and in the Champions League / Europa League / Conference League positions. And they're all kicking off at the same time. And secondary to that, if you've been following me and Robbie's Premier League predictions, which I can't find the bit of paper with it on. Yeah, that's not very good. Where's that bit of paper gone? You absolute moron. You've ruined it! Where's my Premier League predictions? Did we do Premier League predictions? We did. What have you done with the paper? You can't not have that. It's the most important week of the season. Who are Man United playing? Brighton. I haven't done it. Why didn't I write it down? Oh, you're an idiot. What? Where would you write? What? Where would you write that down and where would you lose it? Oh, God. That is very, very disappointing. I can't remember what I did. I don't know what I did. Is that it? You cheeky get. Went hiding under the bloody table. Yeah, I've got that as well. Okay. I've got a 5-point lead on Robbie. It's important because if Robbie loses, then he is wearing a Man United shirt outside Old Trafford in July. But anyway, we are about 20 minutes away from this. Make sure you're subscribing, whichever platform you're watching on. Louis says Spurs are going to go down. Fancy a curry in Morrison's car park, says Ryan. Thank you very much for your super chat there. I am streaming on 2 cameras. We're on That's Football on a really shitty camera, but we are live on That's Football. And obviously we're live here on United Stand as well. You're going to get battered on the That's Football, I think. Although there is 2,600 watching there, refusing to join the 10,000 on United Stand. But look, let me talk about Man United against Brighton, because there is obviously an opportunity here for Brighton to get into the top 6. If they win and Bournemouth don't beat Forest, then there is an opportunity for Brighton. Brighton can get to 56 points, which is what Bournemouth are on. But obviously, Bournemouth at the moment have got the better goal difference. So if Bournemouth were to lose by 3 goals, their goal difference is worse. Well, no, Bournemouth's goal difference is worse than Brighton. Forget that. Shut up. If Brighton win and Bournemouth lose, Brighton finish 6th. And Bournemouth are playing at Forest. If they can get a point, Brighton can't catch them. So it's interesting in relation to the team news that has come out, because Brighton have brought back 50-year-old James Milner and dropped Baleba in his big game of the season, where he's looking to, show Manchester United why we should be signing him. So let me just get the screen, the table up for you, because we really should have that while we're doing this. So there you can see on the screen at the moment, that's how it looks. So yeah, Brighton have got a better goal difference than Bournemouth. If they win, they go to 6th place, unless Bournemouth can get a point as well, or a win away to Forest. It's going to be action-packed. It's all going on. We'll keep you updated, of course. Just going through the team news for Man United and Brighton. United... Let me get the scores here. Brighton, as you know, no Baleba. He's on the bench because 52-year-old James Milner plays with Gross in the midfield. Wiefer, Van Heck, Dunk, Kadioglu, Verbruggen at the back and the goalkeeper. And then Gomez, Hinshelwood, De Cooper and Welbeck. Minte on the bench and Rutter on the bench. I don't even think that's Brighton's strongest team, to be honest. But there we go. United, Le Mans, Mazraoui, Maguire, Martinez, Shaw. Mainu, Mount and Bruno, and then Ahmad, Dorgu and Mbeumo. Casemiro been given the day off. Dalot been given the day off. And Cunha on the bench. Only youth on the bench for Man United is Lacey and Fletcher. Heavens on the bench with Bienda, Malacia, Ugarte, Yoro and Xerxes. Little bit disappointed by the lack of rotation by Michael Carrick, if I'm being honest. Luke Shaw didn't need to play today. Harry Maguire didn't need to play today. Martinez didn't need to play today. We could have watched Aiden Heaven playing at the back with Yoro, and they do need minutes. But midfield, would you play Mount or would you play Ugarte? I think it fundamentally means that there's not much future for Ugarte, which we know. I personally wouldn't have started Maguire and Shaw. I don't think there's any need for them to play. They've had a good season. I wouldn't start them if I'm being completely honest, but there's not a lot of youth on the bench either. According to my data, says Chris, 10th to 13th place could get Europe, so that's fun to see. I'll come back to that in a minute. Don't forget the 19th place El Crapico between Wolves and Burnley. João Gomez watch, says GMAC. Let's see United do to Brighton what Bolton just did to Stockport. United, says 50 and bad. And the problem with our club is that the Glazers fucked this club up with debt, and Ineos is like the Glazers, stingy, says Haas. United stand, hope you're all doing very well, says Daniel Thompson. What a lovely day it is in the UK today. We've had a couple of super chats on That's Football as well. Zuta says you're beautiful, and genuine question, would you take Phil Billing at United as rotational, says Goldio. Also, what's wrong with the camera? Yeah, if you're watching on That's Football, the camera settings are rubbish. I can't do anything about it. If you're watching on United Stand, that's what you call the difference between an upgraded hotel room and basic. If you go to That's Football, you'll know exactly what they mean. But we are covering both, in fairness, and maybe next season we'll sort out a better second camera. The stupid thing is, when I've done Bundesliga, the other camera was absolutely fine. It's just today it's got a problem for some reason, and I just don't know why. I don't know what the problem is. Anyway, back to this. So there was a good question there from Chris, who says that 13th place could get Europe. Can you confirm or deny that, Mark? 13th place at the moment is Fulham, who have got an inspiring 49 points. So Fulham have got 49 points. If they were to win, they'd go to 52. They have a better goal difference. No, they don't. No, Fulham won't get Europe, I don't think. No, I think you've got to finish in the top 9 to get Europe, haven't you? So Fulham's goal difference isn't going to help them. Everton the same. Newcastle. I mean, Newcastle could still get Europe. Who are they playing? Newcastle are playing Fulham, aren't they? Yeah, Newcastle are playing Fulham. Everton are playing Tottenham. I mean, Everton still could get Europe with a win. Where are they playing? Spurs. Yeah. West Ham go down unless Spurs lose, and then West Ham have to win. I've got a feeling something's going to happen. I've got a feeling something big's going to happen. I've got a feeling that... I have a feeling that will either get Champions League football for Bournemouth or West Ham will stay up. I think one of those two things is going to be my take. Yeah. That's my feeling. I don't know what everybody else thinks, but I just have a funny feeling that that might be the case today. I don't want to do that. I'm just having a quick look at something here because I'm very confused. What's going on? Okay. Where's my live chat gone? Whoa! Don't want to do that. Who do you think is going to win the Champions League, says Kiri. Well, that's next Saturday night, isn't it? And we'll be live on That's Football for that. I want PSG to win it, but I do think Arsenal have a chance in that. Yeah, certainly. So I have to wait and see. This setup in the Champions League is so Super League don't exist, says United Wear. And he's young, really, early 20s, really good signings, says Ajit. I don't know who you're talking about, mate. Can we make non-United questions given the camera, says True Gent. Yes. And no one says it, but Carrick is anti-youth, says Rahul. And what do you think of Bitschwaby, left-sided left centre-back from Leipzig, 6'5", built like Maguire, but on crack as a signing. He's actually class, says Ajit. He is. He's a good signing. It would be a good signing. No doubt about it. He would be an interesting signing. I don't know whether United are going to sign a centre-back, but he could be somebody that, you know, comes into the Premier League. Andre Gomez says, I just don't get why Carrick would make such a big deal out of playing young academy players today and then bench them all. I think it's going to be a very bad look if Lacey doesn't play today. And Island Boy Trucker says, came on here to see how bad the camera was, and you aged 10 years, Mark, back to the United stand. I am tempted just to end the That's Football one at kick-off time and do it all on the United stand, because it's just boring. I'm not getting any decent comments over there at all. It's just Gothbridge, this, that, and the other. So I think I actually am just going to do that because it's just very distracting. I did try. I don't know why it did it. Apologies for that. But it's ultimately just very distracting to just try and read your comments and just read comments about cameras. So I think I'm just going to end that. And you're welcome to join us on the United stand. Thank you very much. Thank God for that. Sorry, everyone on the United stand. They were doing me head in. Oh, you know what? You say I've got a problem with the camera and we're just trying to do two different things. And all you get is, well, what's with the camera? Emo Bridge. What's with the camera? Dark Knight Rises Bridge. What's wrong with the camera? But it's, you know what? It's not someone new coming in. It's actually the same people doing it. So you just start to think, yeah, it's a big final day in the Premier League, and actually was just being quite nice, you know, having a dual stream on the go as well. But at the end of the day, stick it up your arse, basically. So we're back. Yeah, look. Sometimes in life, stick to what you're good at, you know? I think that's a lesson. Back to the people. Back to you lot. Right, this is going to be a lot easier for me to do now. Should have played the young lads, including Agate and... sorry, where was that? Should have played the young lads, include Agate, Malacia, Xerxes, because the probability is that they're leaving this season, says Bus. Is. Yeah, well, look, even though we're on the United stand now, I'm still very much going to be keeping you up to date on what's going on in the other games. So it is a final day Premier League video. So we're definitely going to cover that. According to my data, we've done that from Chris. Thanks for all the super chats that are coming in. Don't bother if you're on That's Football. Sorry, if you come in from That's Football, welcome. Let me just, can I? Can you go there? But look, you know what? In relation to Carrick not picking youth, you get what you get. You know, I think some of you lot have gone, give it to Carrick, and you've given it to Carrick on results, and you know nothing. You're like Jon Snow. You know nothing about how this guy is gonna develop youth, develop style of play. You got absolutely no idea. So, you know what? I haven't got any sympathy for you because you don't know whether he's going to develop youth. You don't know whether he's going to change his style of play. You don't know whether he's going to buy players that you want. You've just gone, Carrick's at the wheel. We've won a few games and ultimately we'll learn together. We'll learn together, won't we? We'll learn together what he's all about. So, yeah, we're playing Brighton. And as you can see on the league table there, Brighton can get 6th if Bournemouth lose. And if Villa lose to City, which is likely, and Liverpool beat Brentford, 6th place would be Champions League. So we could be watching a game here today where Brighton get Champions League football. Reality is they might end up in the Europa League. But, you know, can you get the bottom half of the table in the carousel? Would be good to track the bottom, says Lee. You always, well, I'll leave the joke. Lee, I was going to do the joke, but I won't do that. I will get the bottom for you. So, bottom of the table for Lee is on the screen for you now. That's how it looks. Do you think Carrick will be gone in 6 months or less, says Constantine? I actually don't want Carrick to be gone in 6 months or less. I actually do want to see Michael Carrick survive and be given a chance. Right, it would be great for the final Premier League show if we could get a lot of people watching here. So as a thank you to everybody this season, I'm going to be gifting out memberships at multiple intervals during this stream. So if you are a member and you've got a badge in the chat, you know, you'll know what I'm talking about. We've got some really exciting stuff coming up for members. You know, some of you are going to get free memberships coming in very, very soon. Please do share the video and get involved with the channel. I've just realised I've clicked the wrong thing there. I'm a bloody idiot. Let's do that as well. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the World Cup. We're going to be live on That's Football with that on the crap camera, just pissing everybody off. But yes, please do share the video and get involved with the United Stand. Chris says, I love Goldbridge. You keep me going. Thank you. Got nearly 20,000 watching. And yeah, we're going to be giving away memberships quite regularly through the stream today. We'll start off with 5 just to get things started. So let me go. And they're in the chat. There we go. First 5 are up and going. Let me catch up on some of the super chats. So we are 16 minutes from the end of the Premier League. It's going to get very exciting. I will be standing up. Shinobi says, thank you for a great season of watch-alongs. Enjoy watching you here as well on That's Football. Already 12 White Claws, deep waiting Arsenal to lift the trophy, says Shinobi Ben. Yeah, of course. United Stand, you're a legend for gifting 5 memberships. Matthew, thank you for being a member. And Trader says, cheers to the next 29 months. Yeah, look, don't forget, we've been really busy over the last few days anyway, but a massive thank you to everybody who's part of this community and That's Football. I know some of you have come over because of the stream problems. World Cup on That's Football, loads of watch-alongs, absolutely going to be a busy summer. United Stand, it's already started. Transfers, Edison, Fernandes could get relegated today. Baleba could come on today. You know, Tonali, Anderson, it's going to be a busy summer on both channels, so we're not going anywhere. We just move into a different era. A different gear, sorry, not era. But look, it is the end of the Premier League for another season. And whilst things don't stop, they actually get busier for us on the United Stand and That's Football. I still would like to say thank you for all your support this season, whether you're new or old. Thanks for subscribing and getting involved. And as you know, we had a big announcement ourselves a month ago, teaming up with somebody else. And I know some of the stuff that's coming for both channels is massively exciting. So next season's going to be very different to every other season you've ever seen, with the same sort of stuff as well. But that's all for next season. Let's finish off this season. And look, wouldn't it be incredible if Brighton or Bournemouth got Champions League football with Manchester United? Wouldn't it be incredible if West Ham survived and Spurs got relegated? I just can't see Spurs at home losing. They have to lose at home. I just can't see it. I can't see it. If it was at Everton, I think they'd be in trouble, but I just can't see it happening. But let us know your thoughts. Noah says, happy Memorial Day to all who served. I remember my dad driving to base while listening to the United Stand every day. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be a member. Thank you very much to Noah. That reminds me, actually, we've had a very hectic start here, but I did say that I had a message from somebody today, and I did say that I would mention it on the watch along. So I'm going to do that, obviously, if this ever loads up. Sorry, technical issues. Okay, so I was informed by Anna today that her dad, Barry Hamilton, who was a lifelong Red, passed away on May the 15th at the age of 79. He was a season ticket holder for many years and struggled with his mobility, but he got to many cup finals and ones in Europe as well. He embraced the United Stand and watched every match week and mostly agreed with the commentary, which must have been incredibly difficult. But anyway, shout out to Barry and his family, who sadly passed away a couple of weeks ago. But I suppose that's the community that United Stand is and Manchester United is, isn't it? Life carries on around us, and but thank you very much for letting us know, Anna, and shout out to Barry, who lifelong Red, passed away a couple of weeks ago, and a fan of the show as well. So thoughts with you and the family as well. Thank you very much for that. Perk says, if United gets a penalty, do you see Bruno doing a pass penalty? Yeah, of course. Well, yeah, I mean, look, I've got to be honest. I mean, Bruno breaking the record would be nice, and I think he will do it. But I'm a Man United fan, so, individual awards. I'm not quite Roy Keane, but individual awards, it's not going to ruin my day if he doesn't break the record. I think he will break the record, but personally, I'd like us to win and break the record. United make 40 million bid for Gattuso, says Son of Uhtred. Hi Mark, thanks to you and the team for another season. We all appreciate all the work that goes into this. Let's end the season on a high note, says Mr. J. Well, I suppose that's the good thing about Carrick, isn't it? He just won't rest players. He won't give youth players time. He won't even put Aidan Heaven at centre-back, which I haven't even had a chance to talk about. But looking at the United team there, why Aidan Heaven is not starting for Man United in a meaningless game at the end of the season is baffling to me. Aidan Heaven played at Stamford Bridge and was man of the match and got us 3 points against Chelsea at a key point. He's been thrown out of the team since Martinez got back in, despite being one of our best players, and can't get a start in the last game of the season. I find it a little bit strange, to be honest with you. Why are we picking Maguire and Martinez over Aidan Heaven in the last game of the season when he's a young kid who needs game time? And it sort of fits in with what I was saying a couple of days ago. Maguire doesn't get in the England squad and it's straight to Twitter. Are you telling me that we couldn't have left Maguire out, said go on holiday? I don't get it. I don't get why we've got favourites in the final game of the season. And, has Maguire had a word with Carrick, or Carrick's had a word with Maguire and said, don't worry, I'll pick you, we can still get you in. We've got a kid who's done really well. I like Maguire, by the way. This is not about Maguire, it's about Carrick. Why would you not start Aidan Heaven? So I want to see Aidan Heaven coming on at half-time. I do. Because there's absolutely nothing about this game that matters in relation to Martinez, Maguire. We should be giving people more game time, especially, what is Lenny Yoro now? When is Lenny Yoro going to get his minutes? Great atmosphere at Brighton, by the way. They are creating an atmosphere here, and we're here for it. I'm in my shirt and football shorts combo here. I don't know. I was saying it to the wife earlier. From the age of about 14 to 19, this is what I used to wear in the hot weather all summer. I'd wear a pair of football shorts and a shirt. And she said, was that a thing? And I went, well, it was a thing in my house. I don't know whether anybody else ever did it, but I did. That's what I did. A shirt and a pair of football shorts. Normally just a plain pair of football shirts with like Adidas or Nike on it. But yeah. They're shorts. They're not bloody boxer shorts. Someone's saying put it away, Mark. I mean, look, I've definitely got pants on underneath because even though these shorts come down to my knees, it could still dangle out. So yeah, definitely. I think it was only me, by the sounds of it, who used to do that. I think it was a bit of a Goldbridge style, yeah. A shirt and a pair of shorts. Unlucky, Lenny, but it's all about the win percentage, says we. Yeah, I think Carrick's going for the win percentage. Exactly. I think that's exactly what he's doing. Greetings from Virginia Beach, USA. Looking forward to even more great content. Need United Stand coffee cups twice as large. We chug caffeine over here, says Mandolin. Hope you're doing well. Let us know where you're watching from, everybody. Heaven deserves time, just that Carrick doesn't have the balls going into next season. Let's not expect many minutes for youth and youth development, says Chris. I'll tell you what, Chris, on a serious note, though, if Carrick's not going to give people like Heaven and Yoro and the bench minutes next season because he's just chasing results because he's scared, what are we doing? Like, we need a manager that's going to develop players as well. We can't just have a manager that's scared to try anything because he might lose a game and then they'll have pressure on him. I mean, maybe we've appointed the wrong person then, because he will be under pressure. Absolutely. The minute we lose games, he's going to be under pressure. But how does that help players that need minutes? So that's one for next season. Thank you for all you do, Mark. Sorry for the camera banter, says Island Boy Trucker. It's fine, mate. It was a crap camera. Hi, Mark. Love the streams this year and good to see United back in the Champions League, says the great savagery. Also, shout out to our Power Chair football team, won the WFA Championship. Well done. Great savagery. United make, I've done that one from Son of Uhtred. Mr. J Strongbot says, thank you to you and the team. We all appreciate the hard work. Didn't that one, I think, but there we go. It's always nice to do it twice. Get a stretch because this midfield will get stretched, says Chris. I'll miss the United watch-alongs during the summer, says Francis. Yeah, but we got so much World Cup stuff. We will be back doing Premier League Man United watch-alongs before you even realise it. This summer is going to go so quick because we're going to be so busy. It's a massive transfer window. It's a huge World Cup. It's not going to be one of those summers where you're like, I can't believe how long it is. That's what she said. No, it's going to be a very quick summer. As the old saying goes, I'd rather be pissed off than pissed on, says Wee Bento. And while the Edison critics have their valid points with regards to being a squad player, I think him not playing for Brazil shouldn't be held against him. Fred was a regular, says Music. But does that not make it worse? So if Fred's a regular for Brazil and Edison can't get in, how's that meant to make me feel better? Jake says, is this a Baleba audition? Well, no, mate, because he ain't there. He's not there, is he? So it can't be an audition. They've picked 52-year-old James Milner over him. So, yeah, he's not there. Yeah. Baleba is on the bench for Brighton. There should be plenty of goals in this game because there is... Brighton play quite open, but they do have to win. There's no doubt about that. They do have to win this game today. We'll keep you up to date with all the goals. All other games kicking off at the same time. Cheers to another great season, Mark, says Snoopy. Do you wear shoes with tracky bottoms? No, Mark, I'd never do that. Baleba is so good, he's on the bench for Milner. Yeah. It's funny because he had been posting on Instagram a lot the last few days. But on the bench. To be honest, look, forget Baleba to Man United. If I was Brighton, I'd have put him on the bench as well. They only started starting him in the last 4 or 5 games, and they've lost 2 of their last 3. Before that, I think they went on the run that put them in the top 7. So I definitely think they've made the right choice. Dorgu is playing at left wing today, so we might get a little bit more balance. Mazraoui at right back. Obviously, he'll be going to the World Cup as well. Hot day. Always seems to be hot when we play Brighton away, doesn't it? Got the new home shirt yesterday. Love the collar. Real retro feel to it, says Ryan. Yeah, Seb's got the new kit. I'm not a big fan of it, but when you see it in person, it's not that bad, to be fair. Baleba is on the bench. He's on the bench. The Brighton bench has got Baleba, Rutter, Steele, Veltman, O'Reilly, Minte, March, Costellos and Bossagli. Harry to score a header today and do some cringy FU Tuchel celebration. Heard it here first. Well, him and Luke Shaw will be out there to show the world that they are brilliant, I suppose. Yeah. Thanks for all your super chats, by the way. Do keep-ups to celebrate end of season. Says, mate, I can't do keep-ups at the moment. It actually is really hot in the UK. Will Spurs go down today, says Ninja. I don't think they will. I think it would be incredible if they did. I don't think they will. I think we're going to get a lot of goals. I always used to love watching Match of the Day, final game of the season, and I will be watching it tonight. It's just something about final. It's like the opening day, isn't it? Thanks for all the super chats that are coming in. You can do that through the $sign. We've got nearly 20,000 people watching, so please do share the video. Loads going on. Luke Shaw to imagine 2 on the bounce. Score a goal, says Lasts. Savage says West Ham down, please. Well, it does help United if it's if they go down, because Fernandes would be an option for United then, wouldn't he? So there is that, certainly. Remember, we're going to be gifting memberships throughout the show. I've already gifted 5. We'll do a few more in a moment. Nice switch of the play here to. I mean, Ahmad starting games again is incredible, considering how crap he's been. I don't think he was that bad in the last game, though, was he? I can't remember. It was a week ago. Yeah, I don't think he was that bad against Forest. Mason Mount playing in the midfield. You know what? This needs to be clipped. Mason Mount, if he has a good game today, is not a solution for the midfield. Do not let Wilcox and Barada think that we only need to sign 2 midfielders because Mason Mount can play in the midfield. He fucking can't play in the midfield, so let's learn that now. He is not a midfielder. This is an end-of-season game with no jeopardy in it. He cannot be an end-of-season player for Manchester United. Absolutely no. No, 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 no. It will not work. And anybody in the chat who thinks it will work, you can shove off as well. It's just not happening. Excited about the World Cup? Yeah, 2 weeks on Thursday. The World Cup starts. There you go. So I'm very excited about the World Cup. Thank you for all the lovely messages in the chat. Lots of people being very nice. Last game of the season, etc. What about Martinez as a backup DM so Heaven can start, says Omar. Mate, as I said in the week, the amount of you lot who said Lindelof should play in the midfield when he was at United, and I used to laugh and go, absolute nonsense. Load of bollocks. And yeah, he's been playing in the midfield for Villa for the last few weeks and actually done quite well. We've got a penalty for Wolves coming in. Don't know that actually makes a hell of a lot of difference at the bottom. Wolves could go ahead of Burnley if they win. So Burnley would be rock bottom. So Wolves could get something there. They've got a penalty. Who would you rather get in the Champions League, Bournemouth or Brighton? I think Brighton, because Bournemouth, it's a bit weird. It won't even be Iriola. They'll probably sell a lot of their players, whereas Brighton, it would be the same manager, and I think they've got the better squad. But who deserves it more? Bournemouth. But it won't be Bournemouth as we know it, will it? It'll be weird to have Bournemouth in the Champions League with a new manager. They could get relegated. Stop the cap. Mason Mount is as good as Zidane in the midfield, says Rub. And Chris says, hold on a minute. Le Mans nearly got caught on the ball there. Chris says, you think if Cunha played at left back, who pushed up, allow him to move more centrally, that would be an option to have him on the left wing. I'm not saying we shouldn't buy a left winger. I don't know if that would be a good idea. Yeah, I think you're right, Chris. I think if Cunha had a proper left back who overlapped, it would make a difference. But he's still being played out of position, though, isn't he? Gems is a gem. She's just gifted 5 memberships. Big shout out to our moderators, by the way. They have been absolutely brilliant again this year. Brighton are on the attack. Good cutback. Well done, Mainu. Oh, he's messed about with it there, though. Martinez gets rid of it. You've got to want this ball. Brighton have started off with a bit of intensity here. Wolves have scored their penalty, by the way. Welbeck's in the box. And that's a free kick. Gross on Mainu. Yeah, Adam Armstrong has scored for Wolves from the spot. They lead 1-0 after 7 minutes. The first goal of the Premier League. I think this is the only time of the season where everybody kicks off at the same time. Every single team in the Premier League kicking off at 4 o'clock today. Hi Mark, hope you're well. 1 a.m. in Australia and I'm stressed running games on 4 different screens. Bruno 2 assists today, says Pengers. I just watched the United game and then when things happen, you can change and go to look at them. I don't think it's... I've done it before and I think like I can do double watch alongs, but I just think actually watch United and then see how things develop. Worst ever final day? Yeah, easy. Aguero. Yeah. You know what? I wasn't even paying any attention to that. I was like, Man City will beat Palace easily. And I only turned it on for the last 10 minutes. And God, I wish I never had. Who are the favourites to sign this summer, says Faris? Well, can I just say, somebody said in the chat, why do you think Balaba's not starting? Because I don't think Brighton want to sell him. I don't. I think if Brighton wanted to sell him, you'd start him. You'd start him and you'd go, I hope he has a really good game. So Man United fans get really hyped and then we can get a good fee for him. I think the fact that they haven't started him and have basically not put him in the shop window, they've started a team that they feel is their best team. I think it might suggest that Brighton ain't that fussed about selling him either. So when all is on the line for Brighton, they go for a 40-year-old Milner and a 35-year-old Gross and not Baleba. Not a very good look. I don't think it is a good look, Stig. I think you're absolutely right. Nick says, thank you very much for another great season. Thank you very much, pal. Thanks for your super chats that are coming in. Mike's in there, legend of the chat. He says, many thanks to you, Mark, and everyone else for another season. Back post chance for Brighton, but he hasn't connected. Goes out for a goal kick. Typical United fullback getting stuck. Look how narrow Luke Shaw is here. Crap positioning. Why do our fullbacks do that? Years and years and years of this. Why do our fullbacks just tuck in and hold the hand of the centre-back all the time? If Tottenham go down, do you think United goes for anyone? I'd go for Archie Gray instead of Ederson. Yeah, we've got a bit of a chance here. Bruno gets it into Luke Shaw, who's suddenly decided to overlap in May. Look at him. Luke Shaw, he's saved up. He's like that. He's like that person at the end of the season who's got a bit of energy left. Afternoon, everyone. If every club kicked off at this time every weekend, scheduling would be a gazillion times easier alongside Cup Champions League games. As I said yesterday, cheers for another great season, says Tom. Yeah, but you know, what's Carrick got on the back of his ear? Is that like a microphone or something? Yeah, you couldn't have everybody kicking off at the same time because it would be crap as well. You know, we wouldn't have any Sunday football. You know, we wouldn't have any Saturday night football. Everyone would just kick off at 3 o'clock. So I actually don't mind the fact that we share it out, but it is quite nice when everyone kicks off at the same time. Mike says, many thanks to you and Mark, everyone, for another season. Thanks to the community for getting us through a hard season. Yeah, big shout out to everyone. Constantine says, thoughts on Coventry in the Premier League next season? I think they've got the best chance of staying up. I think they do need to sign a few players. Maybe look at what Sunderland did. Why are we not looking at Noosa? Can play both sides and attacking midfielders, says Emperor. I don't know, but we should be. Mainly just losing the ball there. That's a lovely ball in. He won't get there, though. That goes out for a goal kick. Is it Hull with the record for lowest Premier League points, says Kenneth? I mean, look, I am allowed to say it. I did a tweet last night. Hull and Ipswich are relegated. I'm allowed to say it. Hull and Ipswich are going down. I think Coventry have got a chance. Top 10 teams should have had their final game of the season played at home. It will allow fans to celebrate winning titles, qualifying for Europe, etc., says Jason. But Jason, that comment is as nice as it is stupid, because how do you know who's going to be in the top 10? You know, you might put Spurs at home final game of the season and they're not top 10, are they? So how would you know? Xander's gifted 5 memberships, by the way. I'm going to gift 5 more in a minute. Thank you very much, Xander. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Big summer on the United stand. I know we've got a World Cup, but United need a big transfer window, and we will be covering all of it. We're live every morning at 10 o'clock. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. And obviously anything to react to will go live as well. So get involved with the United stand. All the latest United news and reaction here with the best community, which is you. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. We're only 300 away from 265,000. So please do subscribe to the channel and get involved. in relation to other games, we've only got 1 goal out of 10 games in the Premier League so far. And a shot from Kadioglu over the bar. And that's a goal by Wolves in the most rubbish game of the season, of the final ones, because it's a race for who can finish bottom. But Wolves are winning at the moment, which puts Burnley bottom. But they're both relegated long time ago. No other goals in any other games at the moment. West Ham Leeds, Tottenham Everton, Sunderland Chelsea, Forest Bournemouth, Man City Villa, Liverpool Brentford, Fulham Newcastle, Crystal Palace Arsenal, Burnley Wolves, and of course Brighton Man United, which is what we're watching at the moment. Not out in the beer gardens. I was in a lovely beer garden yesterday, but obviously I'm not going to be in a beer garden at the moment because I'm watching this game with you. But I may venture out to a beer garden after this because I'm sure it's going to stay lovely until late. You know, last night, like 9:25, you could still have a game of football on the park if you wanted to. Not that I would, I'm past all that. But it was still light enough that you could see what you were doing. Everton haven't scored. No, they haven't. What happens if Brighton lose? If they lose, they would still be in 7th on goal difference over Chelsea, who are drawing, and Brentford, who are drawing. So a Brighton draw, as long as Brentford and Chelsea don't win, would still keep them in 7th place. But if Sunderland or Chelsea start winning, it would drop them down to 8th, or if Brentford win as well. So, yeah. Important game for Brighton. I think Brighton with the European football as well would be something interesting to see. Yeah. Oh, Mason Mount's down. He's fine. He's fine. What happened to you showing stats on your phone at the screen in the start of the season? Love your content. Yeah, I enjoyed doing that, Tobias. I think we were doing that with... I don't want to say who it was in case it wasn't them, but you know what? Something happened where they had access to heat maps and it got pulled, I think, by the Premier League. And I was sort of like, that was probably the most important, that was the most interesting thing. It wasn't even heat maps, actually. Somebody just said it in the chat. It was, here's Ahmad. I'll come back to that. It wasn't heat maps. It was distance covered. And I think it got pulled by the Premier League because there was some complaints about it. Do we normally use next season's kit this early? No, we don't, Ross. It's just to sell kits. Look at Luke Shaw. Ah, come on. I've never seen Luke Shaw overlap so much. I'm going to tweet it. Maybe he's just trying to send one last message to... I mean, to be fair, Luke Shaw can play left centre-back and left-back, just not particularly well. But, you know, Tuchel's not going to take him. Well in, Mainu. Oh, God, some of the passing's sloppy, though. No, still the only goal. Which, considering we've nearly had 20 minutes, 1 goal in all the Premier Leagues. You can clearly see gazpacho soup weather marks as greens. I don't like gazpacho soup. My Mrs. does. It's cold, isn't it? It's cold tomato soup. She loves it. I can't eat cold soup. Hi Mark, pouring rain in New York. Mount needs to be sold and please leave the number 7 shirt at the door, says Christine. Well, I tell you what, it's surprising to hear that the weather's crap in New York and it's beautiful here. Because I was in New York last June and it was hot and I loved it. You know, for a city, I think New York suits hot weather. But yeah, you normally get the better weather. Do we normally use next season's kit? You can clearly see this team setup is for the counter, says Adit. Oh, 100%. You just said Hull got relegated, yet Hull got promoted, says Calvin. They will get relegated. Who is your dream signing, says Call. Tonali, probably today. It's always Tonali or Anderson, but Tonali probably today. Here's Ahmad. It's a good cross by... I don't know whether it was Bruno. Mount. No, it's Mount. Yeah, it's not a good cross by Mount. I think the way he behaves, it's almost like he thinks he's put a good cross in, but no one's ever getting on the underhand. Drew says, I wasn't keen for Carrick higher, but I'll back him, however. I can't get behind Mbermo at striker and Ahmad starting every game when he's been poor. Thanks for all you do. The best community, says Drew. Yeah, I am taking a few notes to talk about. We have got a season wrap show, actually, from the studio this week. But Mbermo up front is... surely going to be a stopgap, because if we go into next season doing it, it actually doesn't work. Still no other goals, nearly 20 minutes. Goal, Fulham! We've got to go. I mean, it's in a game that's not massively relevant. Fulham have scored 1-0 against Newcastle. Issa Diop. But here's Dorgu. Could we get the third goal? No, he doesn't put the cross in. Coming back. Yeah, Fulham have scored. Come on, we need more goals than this. I understand your position on the centre midfield, but considering we've got one centre midfielder at the moment and we finished third, anything is an improvement, says Keel. Grim says, do you fancy signing Robert Lewandowski? Excited to watch World Cup with you in the community, says Chris. Carrick has got Coxey in his ear mid-game. At least there was a Y on the end of that, Noah. If Tottenham go down, do you think Tottenham... I've done that one, haven't I? Thank you very much. Cunha's on the bench. What does that do for Fulham? Not a lot. They're only in 10th place with 52. Brighton on the attack here. Watch the overlap. Ooh, shot from distance. Just gone wide. Sorry, that wasn't a plug for Gary Neville's channel, Watch the Overlap. It was, do watch the overlap, but I wasn't, we're not contractually obliged to plug the overlap every 5 minutes. Watch the overlap. There was an overlap by Kadioglu, and I was sort of saying it in a beware Mazraoui, watch the overlap sort of way. Mark, think Luke Shaw said, I stayed healthy for nothing when he missed the call-up, says mind first, muscle later. I think, to be fair, there was just, apart from Beth and Ricky, nobody even reacted to Luke Shaw not getting in the World Cup squad, did they? I mean, Maguire's got his, his mum, his wife, his cat, his postman going absolutely mad. And it was surprising. But with Luke Shaw, it was like nobody said anything. Have you seen United are in for Gotts from Ajax as UK Ajaxer? I haven't. And Chris says, I'm in Indiana. The weather is also bad here, but the state is also garbage and boring. Okay, Chris. You ever thought of moving? Every selection of Tuchel makes sense. No crap going. Madueke will be needed in games where you need a direct player. Let the man do his thing. I'm on board, Rub, with Tuchel. I was talking about weather. I was looking at the weather and the World Cup, and it's going to be hot. And I'm sorry, people like Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire in, plus 30 degrees. He's probably right to go for quite a fresh team. I mean, you could argue that Stones and Dan Burn, yeah, but I think he's gone for the players that he trusts, and it's his right to do that. David says, good day from Australia. I haven't been able to actually watch Stiller yet, but from how you talked about him, he sounds like an older Anderson, being that Bruno's style of player, but in a deeper role. Is that an accurate interpretation? Good cut back there, but Mainu's got it. No, I think Stiller is more a bit of a Bruno playing deeper with midfield attributes. But I've not heard anything about Man United going for him, Dave, for a while. Daniel says, thank you to the fantastic United Stand team, the great mods and brilliant community for a great season and shows every day. It's a joy and I'm very proud and grateful to be a part of a wonderful and best community. This is Daniel. Carrick's having a moan about Milner. Who should be our number 7, says Lee. I think that if I could give the number 7 shirt to anybody, I'd give it to Bruno, but I don't know whether he'd take it. We've got another goal in the Premier League, and it's a good goal if you're Brighton and Bournemouth, because it's Villa losing, Semenyo has scored, and it's a goal. Just to let you know, Villa's lineup is hilarious. Bizu, Lindelof, Mings, Maatsen, Garcia, Bogard, Barkley, Bendia, Bailey, Watkins. They've massively rotated. So Villa probably are going to lose that game. If Liverpool can win as well, 6th place, get Champions League football. So keep an eye on that. Man City have done their bit. They're beating Villa at the moment. If Liverpool can beat Brentford, then 6th place gets Champions League football. And then it gets very exciting for Bournemouth and Brighton. Statistically, says Marlowe, Le Mans is the 15th best goalkeeper this season. Do we hype him too much because we're so damaged by Onana? And will Le Mans be exposed if we stop playing so defensively? How can he be? I mean, look, mate, I think Le Mans has come in and been, you know, infinitely better than Onana in the sense that he makes big saves. He's very assured at coming for crosses, which Onana wasn't. How can he be 15th best? Based on what? Is it just like one stat? Because I'm very happy with Le Mans, and I don't think he's overhyped, to be honest with you. Imagine Bruno's assist number if we never played deep, says Lord. No, but Bruno was still getting assists in the midfield anyway. So I think that's a bit of a myth. Do you see any surprise signings this summer, or will it be belabour pursuit all season with a couple of other additions, says Jim? Well, hopefully there will be some surprise signings. Goal for Sunderland against Chelsea. Well, now then, that is a big goal. That is a big goal. Big goal. I don't know whether it was a big goal, but it's a big goal in the connotations of the race for top 4. If United could get ahead of Brighton as well, it's Hume who has scored. Chelsea are terrible. They would not be in Europe at all as things stand. This is getting exciting, people. So let me get the league table on the screen for you. Because look at this. I don't think they've updated it. Why have they not updated it? Let's have a look. No, it's not been updated. Has the goal been ruled out? No, it does stand. So I'm just trying to figure out why they've not updated the table, because Sunderland should be ahead of Chelsea, but I'm not getting that. Drinks break here for United. See if we've got it on mine. Yes, there we go. Look, Sunderland up to 8th, level with Brighton. Of course, if Brighton were to lose, Sunderland would be in 7th. Chelsea down to 10th and out of Europe as things stand, as we have a drinks break here. Is it bad that I'm more interested in the West Ham and Spurs scores? Love it, Spurs slip down into the Championship. Oh, no, I think we're all keeping an eye on it, Chris. Do you think we will do well in the Champions League with the right players, says Stephen? I hope so, but it's just a prediction at the moment, isn't it? Chris says, I'm only 15, I can't run away from home. Fair enough. I live in Miami. It's almost 40 degrees right here now, says Bernardo. Hello from sunny, stuffy South Wales. Hope you have the aircon on. 28 degrees over here. Stay hydrated, says Ryle. And people saying Carrick out and mad, says Flicks. I haven't seen any of that, to be fair. Dimitri says Edison, Stiller, Anderson, Murillo, Nusa, Gutierrez, Pope, and Jonathan David is back up. Loan out Vitek. Can you get the job as director of football, pal? I think a lot of Brighton fans are looking at that Sunderland goal, knowing that if they were to lose here, they would be dropping. Dark Blue Wolf says, thank you, Mark, and the United Stand team for the season. I've just got labour and repair surgery on Friday, and I've got you guys to keep my spirits up. Well, rest up, pal. Hope you're fully, you're on the mend. What's your favourite genre to watch end of season? And I'll tell you what I'm watching tonight. You can watch it, you know, psychologically with me. Die Hard 3. New York film in the hot weather. Not seen it for years. Carrick, I watched Kingdom of Heaven, the director's cut, on Friday night. Kingdom of Heaven is not a great film. Kingdom of Heaven director's cut, if you can get a cold copy of it, is so much better. Apparently Everton are parking the bus against Spurs, so they're not going to score anyway, Mark. Carrick played in teams with runners as strikers. I think that's why he sees Mbeumo like a Rooney or a Tebas type who can play up front. Obviously he can't. He didn't even go for Mount's cross, says Shahin. Shiam says, Anderson for 100 million, Fernandes for 40, Scott for 40, Krupa for 40, Lewis Hall for 30, Van der Ven for 60, Robert Lewandowski reduced wage. What a load of shit. Van der Ven is a load of crap, don't want him. Lewis Hall would cost double 30. Krupa won't be going for 40 either. I don't think Scott will go for 40, and I don't think Fernandes will go for 40. Welbeck wasn't picked for England, yes. We picked Ivan Toney and Watkins. Heaven not starting, why? Did he pick up on Carrick's wife, says David. Yeah, don't do that. Do you see any... Done that one from Jim Jones as well. Thanks everybody who's watching. Brighton on the attack. Goes out wide. Cross comes in. And that'll be a goal kick. 28 minutes gone. Still 0-0 here. Fulham beating Newcastle 1-0. Wolves beating Burnley 1-0. Sunderland beating Chelsea 1-0. And Man City beating Villa 1-0. How are Liverpool doing? Well, they're keeping... I think at the end of the day, they're keeping slots. They've had 8 shots, 2 on target, and Brentford have had 1 non-on target. So I feel like that will end up with a Liverpool win. Brighton, good bit of play here. And Luke Shaw is down as a cross comes into the back post. Mazraoui does well, and Ahmad will get hold of that. But chance for United to break away into Bruno. Incredibly shit ball by Bruno, that. Do not know what that was all about. And goes out for a goal kick. Hi Mark, just wanted to say a special thank you to the United Stand community. I've been struggling mentally and putting on your shows makes my mood better. Thank you very much, Hamza. Actually, I said I'm going to be dishing out some memberships. I've already gifted 5. Let's get some more gifted. Let's do 10 this time. I think Luke Shaw got 1 in the nuts. I can't stand the way he doesn't wear shin pads as well. I mean, the guy literally snapped his shin. I say I can't stand it. It's not I can't stand it. It's what do they call it? A bugbear. It's like people when you're on a train and somebody's sniffing and won't blow their nose. I just can't. I saw his injury and it was absolutely horrible. And he runs around with no shin pads and his socks down. And I think it's like having your leg bitten off by a great white shark and then jumping into the Californian Sea, you know, doused in tomato ketchup. Having left Arsenal because of Gabriel and Saliba, only to be benched by Maguire and Martinez, says Shane in relation to Heaven. Have you seen the new series Legends on Netflix? It was brilliant, Jason. I've completed it now as well, so I can talk about it. So, yeah, very, very good. Would you take Dikaiba or Kadioglu, says the Goldblicks. I like Kadioglu. United Stands gifted 10 memberships. What a legend. What's recent transfer news for United? Had busy week, haven't caught up, says Stephen. Edison is going to sign for us in the next few days from Atalanta, is the big news. Just want to say a special thanks to the community, says Hamza. Latina, I don't know what that means, Peter, and I can't be talking about that. Do you think that Arsenal can win the double, says Stan? Well, it's one game, isn't it? They've got a chance against PSG. Never won the Champions League before. I think they'll be up for it. I do. No, I don't think that was a free kick, to be fair, but he's played on. And it's going to go to Mbeumo. Go on, take him on. You're up front for a reason. Corner. This could be it if Bruno takes it. If Bruno doesn't get his assist, it's on Carrick for playing Mbermo on multiple occasions when he's been bad, and Delo for all the sitters he's missed, says Gummy. DH3 is a criminal. Die Hard 3 is a criminally underrated film. I'm looking forward to watching it, Lewis. It's a sort of a hot weather film. It's based in New York. I've not watched it as much as Die Hard 1 and 2, so I'm looking forward to watching it tonight. I always think Bank Holiday weekend is a good opportunity to go back and watch a classic film. LS isn't good enough to have no shin pads. He doesn't deserve the drip points, says Chris. Who do you want to go down, says NZ. I don't know that I want anybody to go down. I don't know that I'm passionate either way. Look, if West Ham get relegated, we'd probably get Fernandes, which is good. If West Ham don't get relegated, Spurs get relegated, which would just be a huge statement to the West of football that you can't, take your position in the Premier League for granted. They've got one of the best stadiums in Europe. They were playing in the Champions League and they'd be relegated. Goal! Dorgu! And Bruno gets the assist. There we go. Bruno assist. That's lovely, isn't it? He's broken the record, which I think is a fantastic moment for him and for Manchester United. I was almost shocked by Dorgu scoring the goal, but Bruno breaks the record. That's what a lot of people came here for. And Dorgu scores. Sit down, Piers Morgan. I mean, you know what? I've been waiting to say this. I've seen so much reaction from Arsenal fans. You've just won the first Premier League title in 20-something years. And, you should be celebrating that. And they're moaning that they didn't get Player of the Year. You got Bruno Fernandes, who's literally just broken the Premier League assist record. The Premier League's been going on for 30 years. No, the Premier League's been going on for, over 30 years. And Bruno Fernandes has just broken the assist record. And people are begrudging him winning Player of the Year. Oh, but Arsenal won the league. I can't believe an Arsenal player's not winning Player of the Year because we won the league. No, the Player of the Year is the player that makes the biggest individual impact on a team. Bruno Fernandes has just broken the record in a Man United side that's not that good. You take Bruno Fernandes out of this Man United side, I think we'd be mid-table. Like, literally think we'd be mid-table. So he absolutely deserves 100% Player of the Year. Absolutely deserves it. How he has broken that record in this side, and I've seen every single Man United Premier League side, and how he has broken that record when you think about the Rooneys, the Ronaldos, the Scholes, the Giggs. There's so many great players in a Man United shirt, and he's broken that record, which is incredible. Hope you're good, Mark. I started watching you 6 years ago when I was a kid. Now I'm moving out next week. Time flies, says Stardust. I presume you're over 18 because, when you said 6 years ago, I was thinking about you might have been 6. You can't be moving out at 12. Isn't it odd that nobody's mentioning Le Mans as signing of the season? He's been really solid and a significant upgrade, says Forms. Brighton are looking a little bit ropey here. Also, by the way, let's have a look at the league table because I did warn you about this. Brighton are in 8th. They are not in the Europa League. They are in the Conference League as things stand. Sunderland would be in the Europa League. So that goal and the goal they've scored against Chelsea at Sunderland is huge. And you talk about manager of the year. That Sunderland manager putting them into 7th place in their first season. I mean, is that being underrated a little bit? Same people saying Bruno doesn't deserve Player of the Year, put us at 10th beginning of the season. And we would be there, Dom, without him, exactly. I mean, look, I'm sorry, you can't have Bruno Fernandes breaking the assist record and then say we're not a one-man team. We are completely a one-man team. I think Casemiro's contributed, Le Mans has contributed, Maguire has contributed, but without Bruno Fernandes, we're not where we are. GoBot, thank you very much. Isn't it odd? I've done that one. Stardust says, I've done that one. Balandorgu back on the table, says Doug. Win for Bruno, says Jesus. Can I say you and the United Stand is the best channel on YouTube, says Stephen. Thank you so much. What's Edison on Heat Ladder? says David. He's a 7 at the moment on the hotometer. Yeah, we'll get that changed for tomorrow morning's show. If Bruno doesn't get his assist, I've done that one from Gummy, and he did get his assist, didn't he? Bournemouth are now losing as well. Forest have scored there. God, so they'd still be in the Champions League, though, because Brighton are the only team that can catch them. But it's Gibbs White who has put Forest 1-0 up against Bournemouth. So there's an opportunity for Brighton. Maybe it's all been set up for Baleba. Maybe Carrick's in on it. We'll go 1-0 up. Bruno breaks his assist record. You bring Baleba on at half-time, and he inspires you to Champions League football, and then we write a cheque for 70 million. The best script ever. Brighton have been quite poor, though. Good play by Dorgu there. So, yeah, it's still 0-0 between Tottenham and Everton. Still 0-0 between West Ham and Leeds. In the Tottenham game, another set piece for Man United as well. I mean, we must be set piece FC. We must be the team that does the most set pieces. Tottenham have had 66% possession, but they haven't had a shot on target. But also, West Ham aren't winning. So United leading here, Wolves winning at Burnley, Fulham beating Newcastle, Man City beating Villa, Forest beating Bournemouth, and Sunderland beating Chelsea. Thank you everybody who's tuning in, by the way. Please do subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with the United Stand over the summer. Mainu's done really well. And it nearly goes in for an own goal. Good play by Mainu. Won't be beaten for a long time. Well done, Bruno, says Lee. Lewis, I can't read that out, sorry. Why isn't Bruno our number 7 and where's Ricky now, says Raja. Ineos get me Morgan Gibbs White, says Jay. Dorgu was even my favourite player last season. I just see something special in him, says Alms. I hope he becomes our full-time winger. Where would we be without Bruno? What a player. Brilliant cross, great header, captain fantastic, well worth player of the year, says Vin. Dorgu's goal category is amazing. Ooh, half a chance for Brighton there. Dorgu's goal category is amazing, says Marlowe. And Forest are beating Bournemouth, which is a crazy turn of events, says Nathan Stewart. Thank you very much for your super chats, by the way. You can do that through the $sign. Thanks for tuning in, as always, and being part of our amazing community. It's not an assist, says NZ. I mean, it quite clearly is an assist. He crossed it onto his head. And Mr. says, I cannot believe that he has broken that record. It's impressive. Solidified himself as a United legend forever. Hell of a season. Thank you for always being there. This community is the best, says Dakota. Thank you, sir. Won't be beaten for a long time. Well done, Bruno, says Lee. And, well, look, the reason it's so impressive is 21 assists in 38 games is obviously lovely play by Brighton here. I don't know whether it's going to lead to a goal. No, it was good play, but it was a crap shot. Whoever's playing on their right wing is shit, by the way, for Brighton. And Kadioglu into Bruno. Is a bit of a break on here. Into Ahmad. 5 minutes to go to half-time. Back into Bruno. Just slow it down. Yeah, I mean, 21 assists in 38 games. It's more than one every 2 games, isn't it? It is hard to beat. And look, most of them have come from set pieces. I think he's only got 8 from open play. But you know what? If it's so easy to get loads of assists from open play, from set piece, it makes me laugh when people say, yeah, but you know, most of his assists are from set pieces. What, like De Bruyne couldn't do set pieces? Like, you know, obviously it helps having people like Casemiro and Maguire, but you've still got to put it on their head. Joan has gifted a membership, thank you very much. And Les says, 1 more and he breaks the top 5 league assist record as well. If not before, he's a United legend now, says Lee. Ahmad with the cross, nearly at half time. As things stand, West Ham are still relegated. As things stand, Bournemouth are still in 6th, even though they're losing. The big mover is Sunderland, who are in 7th at the moment, and Brighton dropped to 8th. So nothing really changes at the moment. If Liverpool were to score against Brentford, then Bournemouth would be in the Champions League because Villa would be down to 5th. But as it stands at the moment, everything is as we started in relation to what will happen after 90 minutes. Apart from Brighton would be in the Conference League and Sunderland would be in the Europa League. Incredible. If I was Brighton, I'd prefer Conference League. You're likely to win it, then you're in the Europa League. Just look at Palace, nowhere in the league though, says Jack. The header went post, then glove, then in, so it's an own goal. I don't think it's been awarded as that. It's been awarded as Dorgu and an assist. And I tell you what, it would be an absolute pedantic wanker if they took that off him. Although somebody said De Bruyne had an assist took off him that he should have had. I've seen a clip of it, which to be fair, it did look like it was an assist for him. But yeah, they're not going to take that off him. What a goal. What a goal. Absolutely brilliant goal. Ahmad, Mount, Ahmad, and Burmo tap in. What a goal. Final day vibes. Fantastic goal. There we go. Ahmad back with some confidence. And a tap in for Mbermo, but it's just a brilliant goal from brilliant play by Ahmad. I'm almost shocked. I mean, I'm a big fan of Ahmad, but I'm almost in shock here. Mazraoui picks it up on the right hand side. Ahmad, nice little control, keeps hold of it, gives it into Mount. 1-2. Lovely play. Just a lovely goal. Really good goal, that is. I mean, if we could score goals like this every week, you'd be bloody loving it. That's how you want to see United play. I mean, look, against Brighton, they always play quite open and there's a lot of space to get at them defensively. But, you know, you've got to put the ball in the back of the net. And Mbermo's done that. Brilliant bit of play by Ahmad. And Mbermo scores. And Spurs are safe as well because Spurs have scored. Tottenham are 1-0 up at half-time. And it's a massive goal from Palhinha. It's not what West Ham want. It is what Spurs want. Brighton are in trouble here. But West Ham are in more trouble. And as Ahmad puts the ball in the back of the net, that could be Fernandes of West Ham moving closer to Manchester United. Thanks for all your work. We're listening in Toronto, says GoBot. Thank you, pal. Take Rice. Haven't watched the game. Has Bruno broke the record, says Ray. Yes, he has broke the record. Some people are trying to say that he hasn't broken the record because it should have been an own goal, but he's definitely registered as the assister there. Had $130 on a Bruno assist for 450. Cheers to the United stand for a great season. Bring on the World Cup, says Jack. Thank you very much, Jack. And Having a Laugh's gifted a membership as well. Thank you very much. Take Rice out of Arsenal and they still win the league, says Crash Gaming. And Sai says, I've been a silent viewer all season. Just want to say thanks for all the amazing content from the United stand. Here's to an amazing summer ahead to you and the community. Thank you very much, sir, and thank you very much for watching. Might be an own goal, says Niki. I don't think it will be. NZ says the header went post, then glove, so it should be an own goal. I mean, it did hit the bar and come down and hit the goalkeeper's hand and go in, but I felt it was going to go in anyway. If I was Brighton, I'd prefer the Conference League, says Jack. Yeah, I've done that one as well. Thank you very much for all your super chats. 3 minutes to be added on here. So a bit of an anticlimax final day at the moment. Probably need a Liverpool goal against Brentford for that exciting Champions League 6th spot for Bournemouth. Spurs are losing. I'm just blocking... oh, you've got away with it. I was just about to block someone. They said in the chat, Ineos know what they're doing. I've got full faith in them. Yeah. Last game of the season against wide open Brighton. And we score a good goal. And now suddenly Ineos know what they're doing. I'm a firm believer... Sorry. I'm a firm believer that Ahmad is better with Mazraoui, says Irfan. You get better defensive support. Mark, can I say when I'm feeling low and down, I put the United stand and it cheers me up. Thanks for the content, to Stephen. Well, I'm very happy to hear that, Stephen. I'm very proud of the community that we've built, and I'm glad that it helps so many people. It's a shame we can't use Mount as a 6. Creative brilliance, but with Manu, we're getting cut through like warm butter. Baron, I'm sorry, I'm just going to say, if you think Mason Mount can play in the midfield, you're an absolute moron. The guy can't stay fit for longer than 20 minutes. He cannot play in the midfield. We cannot use Mason Mount in the midfield. Just because he played a good pass into Ahmad, he can't play in the midfield. The guy's been at the club for 3 years and he's been injured for most of it. We can't fall into that trap. Please don't fall into the trap that Mason Mount's a midfield option. He is not an option for Man United. He is not. It's nice to see him playing, and it's good that he's having a good game, but it's like a charity appearance, isn't it? Hope Carrick tries Dorgu at left back and Cunha at left wing, says Slazy. And Son of Uhtred says, as much as I'd like to see Tottenham relegated, we need Fernandes from West Ham. I thought that was a good tackle by Manu, and he's going to book him. I think the referee's just hot. I really don't think that was a yellow card. I really don't. Probably a foul. I don't think it was a yellow. Sorry, ref. I do not agree with you on that. Yeah, Son of Uhtred says, as much as I'd like to see Tottenham relegated, we need Fernandes from West Ham. Yeah, I think from a United perspective, we're not that bothered if West Ham get relegated, are we? So, Brighton with a free kick right on half-time. It goes out for a goal kick, and that should be half-time. And Brighton fluffing their lines here. They're the team that needed to come out and play, and it's United who lead. 1 from a Bruno Fernandes assist, breaking the Premier League all-time record. And then 2 from a fantastic goal made by Ahmad for Mbeumo. 2-0 to Manchester United at half-time. Well worth it on the final Premier League record day. It's been an incredible Premier League season, and it's living up to its billing here. Man United 2-0 up against Brighton. Burnley losing to Wolves, which means Burnley are bottom now. Arsenal are beating Crystal Palace, but they've already won the league, by the way. Arsenal did just score with Jesus scoring in the 42nd minute. You've got Fulham 1-0 up against Newcastle, Diop scoring there. Liverpool 0-0 with Brentford, which means that Villa would still be in 4th place and Bournemouth would not be in the Champions League spot, because although Man City are beating Villa 1-0 with a goal from Semenyo, Liverpool would need to beat Brentford to go above into 4th and push Villa into 5th, which means 6th gets the Champions League, which would be Bournemouth at the moment, because even though they're losing to Forest, they're still in 6th place. Sunderland are in 7th, beating Chelsea. Spurs are staying up, beating Everton, and West Ham are going down 0-0 to Leeds at the moment. Brighton, the biggest loser at the moment, because they've gone from 7th to 8th, with Sunderland winning. Chelsea wouldn't be in Europe at all either, which financially would hurt Chelsea, but could also benefit Chelsea. We've seen that. I actually do not want Chelsea not to be in Europe, because I think we've seen the benefit of not being in Europe, and Chelsea not being in Europe. I think it's almost, you can't say definitively, but I feel if you're not in Europe and you're Newcastle and Chelsea, they're a real big threat for top 5. 1 game a week, I think it's a huge advantage. So hopefully, we'll have a look at that in a minute, but hopefully Chelsea can. Still only got 47% possession. We're never going to get over 50% possession, are we? But we are winning 2-0. Brighton have had no shots on target. We've had 2 and we've taken them. 1 corner. Quite an end of season vibe to it, really. Apart from the fact that Brighton really should be playing better because they need to win. But from United, just very typical of United under Carrick this last 4 months. We're winning. It's, I nearly said missionary. I suppose if we were a position we would be missionary. Certainly not. No, we won't go there. But there's a word for it. It's not missionary. It's not formulaic. It's not steady. What's the word for United in that half? If somebody can spark it, fair play. Functional. Functional. Again, functional. That's the word I would describe as Man United. It's been a functional performance where we haven't conceded, we've scored a couple of goals, and we're winning 2-0. But not necessarily the best, but, certainly effective and functional. So, yeah. But, look, let me just say, we are here for the final day of the Premier League as well. This, to me, is very interesting because next season, we know, make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, big summer for United. We should be announcing our first summer signing in the next 48 hours, actually, or I haven't given them that away. But look at that. Chelsea not in Europe. Newcastle not in Europe. Two teams that were in the Champions League this year, not in Europe next season. I don't like that. I would rather Chelsea slip into something. I would rather Newcastle slip into something because I think having two of the established teams not in Europe could be a problem for us because, as we know, playing one game a week from Christmas can be massively beneficial. But look, we need to be in the Champions League. That's where we're going to be. So that's how the league table looks at the moment. Yeah, very happy with Ahmad. I mean, look, I think with Ahmad, we've seen some overreaction, but, one person's overreaction is another person's normality. I think there's been a lot of stick for Ahmad this season. I don't think he was bad against Forest, and I think he's been better today. Is it because he's playing with Mazraoui and not Delo? Is it because Brighton play so open? I mean, who knows? But it's definitely been a better performance from Ahmad, and he did brilliantly well on that second goal. But yeah, look, I think it's been quite an equal game. We've just got what we've had. We've got better finishers. I mean, you think about that Everton game. I think Everton probably played better than us, but that breakaway Sesko goal, I think we've done that a lot. I think if I was to pay a compliment to Amorim and Wilcox and Ineos, it's the fact that spending 150 million, well, nearly 200 million pounds on Cunha, Mbeumo and Sesko is why we've won a lot of games. Because in a game like this, they don't have Brightons and Fulhams. They don't have these types of players. So if the game is quite tight, we can score goals. And also, we've got Bruno Fernandes. I think Bruno Fernandes tends to be the difference as well. What do you think of Mason Mount long term, says PR Witten? Mate, I said this before the game, and I'm not, the sun is shining. It's the final day of the season. The transfer window is coming and the World Cup is coming as well. But I'll guarantee you now, there will be some bunch of morons out there saying Mason Mount could be an option in midfield next season. And, it's like saying Stevie Wonder can be a driving instructor. Like, it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. The guy has been here for 3 years and he can't stay fit. And you're asking him to go and play in one of the most strenuous positions in the world. I think Mason Mount's played well, but that's not a solution. That's a stopgap. Can Mason Mount play once a week in the midfield for Man United next season? No. Can he play twice a week? No. So, look, Mason Mount's had a good game, but he cannot play and be part of our future. As Joey said, he's played well, but it's not the answer. Absolutely not. Looks like a perfect game for Lacey to come on. I would love to see Lacey come on, Mr. I think he was unfortunate to get that red card in his last appearance. Yeah, I'd love to see Lacey on in the second half. Get Malacia in the shop window as well, says Who to Blame. He's out of contract, Malacia, so I don't think we need to put him in the shop window. Pumped for Dorgu, says Keith. Does a healthy Dorgu mean United look at left back instead of left winger, says Keith. Stephen says the clock. Yeah, I've turned that off. Are you watching the World Cup? Who do you want to win? Yeah, we'll have loads of watch-alongs, Ian Wright, on the United stand, so tune in for that. What did you think of the boxing last night, says Dylan. I didn't watch the boxing last night. We should sell Mount for 35 million and put it towards a number 6. And my dream job is to be a football manager, says Hamza. Good luck with that. Opinion on selling Martinez for Schlotterbeck. He's just signed the new contract, Cheese, so Schlotterbeck's not going anywhere. What happened to the long throw-ins? I missed them. Yeah. I mean, I do not miss those. Well done to Carrick for getting rid of those, Lig. Mason Mount has a midfield motor, all right. Ford Pinto, says Mandolin. And commentator keeps calling Ahmed, doing my head in, moron, says Magic. And in some ways, I just love that comment. It's been season of incredible stories. Arsenal win after 22 years. End of Pep. Salah played last time as Liverpool player. Bruno breaks the record. Overlapped and baller league for you, says Suba. It has been a strange, monumental season. You're right. But look, what I will say about this season is that although it's the end of the season in May and it's the start of the season in August, I think we've been intrinsically linked as a community and as a channel to Christmas. The tree goes up and we tend to have some, at Christmas it can be a time for reflecting and looking forward. And I feel every show we've done at Christmas for the last few years, we've gone, surely we can't have a year like that. Surely we can't have a year like that. And I think that's how I feel. I'm sort of like, let's see where we are at Christmas, because I don't want to look at another season where it's sort of like, hopefully next year is our year. Thomas says, I think you missed my super chat. At this point, do you think Bruno is a United great or a United legend? I've seen a few people calling him a legend. I'm comfortable with that, but I don't really want to talk about it because it just ends up being clipped and a reason to fall out in the fan base. So I'd rather just not answer it. What I will say is that for me, it's very rare that you're a legend in the shirt. I don't remember that being a thing. I don't remember Roy Keane being a legend when he was wearing the shirt. So I think it's actually /wrong that you're a legend in a shirt. But maybe that's a 2026 thing. Life is complete. Bruno broke the record, says Brad. Great. Do you think if we move on Mason Mount, we would need a big signing owing to the number 7 jersey, says Shauna. We're not going to move on Mason Mount, are we? No one's going to bloody sign him. Why don't we play Mazraoui every week over Delo? I've been saying this for ages, Akash. He's a massively underrated player. How would it be going in anyway if it bounced back out towards the hand then in, says Enzem. I mean, who's going to challenge that? Like, is somebody actually going to look at that goal and try and take it away from Bruno as an assist? I mean, if I'm the Premier League, I'm just going, sweep it under the carpet, let's not even have a look. He's broken the record, leave it. Like, I don't even want to look at it again. I don't even want to debate whether it was going in or not. I mean, obviously, if it hits the bar and it wasn't going in and the goalkeeper puts it in, it's an own goal. But nobody is mentioning it apart from a few people in the chat. Luke Shaw's pushing up more to see if Tuchel will change his mind, says Chris. And can I say, when I'm feeling low and down, I put the United stand on, says Stephen. Thank you very much for all your super chats, everybody. Could you please subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right-hand corner? I ask, because we're very close to 265,000. We're only 100 away. So click in the bottom right-hand corner. It's free to subscribe to the United Stand. We are live every night at 8 o'clock. We are live every morning at 10 o'clock. It's a big summer, lots of transfers, lots of stories, and we're expecting Manchester United to make their first summer transfer signing this week, Edison. So keep an eye on that. Thank you, everybody, as always. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Thank you very much for all your super chats as well. I think I've caught up on those. With regards to the half-time situation, that's what it is. Arsenal have already won the league. Man City will be second. We will be third on 71 points, which is actually the first time we've been over 70 points for a long time. Ten Hag did it. Mourinho did it a couple of times. I think I had a piece of paper, actually, where I wrote this down. Because it's an interesting point. It's not on that one. Here we go, I've got it. So, how many times have United been over 71 points? Mourinho did it with 81. Ollie did it with 74. Ten Hag did it with 75. Jose did a 69. Jose did a 66, a 69, and an 81. Ollie did a 74 and a 66. Ten Hag did a 75 and a 60. And Amrin did a 42. Van Gaal did a 70 as well. So Van Gaal's done it, Jose's done it, Ollie's done it, and Ten Hag's done it. So it's not that rare, but it's been a few years since we got over 70 points. Ten Hag was the last time we did it, which was 22-23. So there we go. Well, obviously we've not won yet, but it looks like we will. Brentford are drawing with Liverpool at the moment, so that keeps them in 9th. I would love to see Chelsea in Europe. If Brentford lose, Chelsea got a better goal difference, they'd go up to 9th and they'd be in the Conference League. So that would be good news. That would be good news. But Sunderland at the moment, 7th place, which is great for them. People can't believe we got 42 points. Yeah, last season was absolutely horrible. Who would have predicted United ending the season in 3rd, says Painted YouTube. Well, we were in 5th when we sacked him. So I don't think it's a massive jump to say that, you know, it's not like we won the league. I think we've done really well, but we were 5th in the league when he got sacked and we were playing 1 game a week. So I think it's great what we've done, but I don't think it's like, wow. It's great, but I don't think it's unreasonable. Reckon the 3 coming up go straight back down, says Bartley. I think Coventry have got a chance, but I think Ipswich and Hull will go down. I mean, it's a guaranteed 12 points for Carrick as well. Think how well Bruno has done breaking the record in this team versus the teams that previous owners have achieved it in. Well, think at what fish cake. We don't even need to wind other people up. Think how well Bruno's done breaking the record in this team compared to teams Bruno's played in. I think Bruno's played in better Man United sides as well, hasn't he? So, yeah, it's not just about that. Okay, let me... You know what? As well, I would have brought Heaven on at half-time. I'm not going to... I'm greedy. Why are we not bringing on Heaven at half-time? Why are we not making some subs at half-time? We're 2-0 up with 45 minutes to go. Why would you not make... He still won't make changes. And I think, Aiden Heaven would be fine in a game like this. Thank you to Lawrence. He's just subscribed, watching from Tokyo. Thank you, pal. Right. Are we going to get any drama in the second half? As things stand, Spurs are winning, so they're staying up. Everton would need to score 2 to change that around. West Ham would be relegated. Bournemouth are in the Champions League if Liverpool score against Brentford. And we're up and running here. Okay. Toby, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Mrs. after telling me she's got a boyfriend, says Wacko. This referee's crap. Bournemouth, the new Southampton, should sign their players, says S Rank. Bruno Madness, strong finish to the season. Now all eyes on the board. They need to attack this market with quality and quantity, says Dan. Another great season from you. Enjoy the summer, mate, says Bartley. Mate, we're not going anywhere. We're still going to be here daily with you, but hopefully, you'll be here with us as well. Mark Edison gives me Fred vibes, says General Kylian Mbappe. And Akshay says the United Stand should plan something in India, huge following. Well, look, if somebody said, come to India, we've got this arena, let's do this, that and the other, then we'd do it. But it's very difficult for us to plan things in countries that we don't know anything about, because India's a big place. What would we do? Just turn up and go, we're here. Most people, when they go to places, they get invited to do stuff. I haven't been able to watch in a while. For the upcoming season, what positions in the team would you like to see filled? Says Barnett. 100% the midfield, mate, and the fullbacks. I'd like a left winger and an attacker as well. I do completely agree with people about Dorgu. Like, maybe Dorgu is a player that we, can occupy one of those midfield positions. Goal kick. Good play, Mazraoui. Check Carragher's tweet. The idiot is baiting again. He should really talk about how shit Arne Slot is. Canadian Red Devil, thanks for being a member for 49 months. Now 32 goals from our new attacking signings, says 50. And bad. And Stephen says, I've just read that Mount's for sale. Is it true? Shoot, Dorgu. Bruno, 3-0. We're absolutely battering Brighton here. Well, he doesn't need goals. He doesn't need goals for his records. But it's offside. What? Where? Ooh, I don't know. I think that's debatable. Looks onside to me. Be nice for Dorgu as well because he'd have an assist. Keeper probably should do a little bit better there, but Bruno drills it so low. This might be on... What is actually... It's a really good finish. I think this might be onside. Yeah, lovely finish. World Cup having players drink beer for commercials but get slandered by fans if they get seen out partying. I don't get it, says Who to Blame 31. Hi Mark, here for the last shout out of the season. Thank you so much for this season. Can't wait to spend the World Cup with you and the community, says Vinny! 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 Pexy says, is Bruno leaving? No. That looks onside to me. And it's given. It is 3-0. It looked onside. Dorgu with the assist. Brighton getting battered here as well. Lovely hot day down on the south of England. And Bruno putting in another majestic performance. Bournemouth, the new... Sorry, I've read that one. Yeah, nice for Dorgu to get an assist as well. You can see why the linesman's given it, but that's what VAR is for. Plays it into Dorgu. Lays it off to Bruno. And he's just drilled it with the laces so low. Such a good finish. And United are 3-0 up. Gaz says, thanks for being there all season. I'm sure you sacrifice family time to bring us content and appreciate it, pal. Looking forward to the World Cup. I don't know about sacrificing family time, mate. You know, people go to work, don't they? So, but thank you very much for being part of the community. That's always appreciated. JBS has gifted us 5 memberships as well. Thank you, sir, for that. Remember when you wanted... Oh, here we go. I'll read the super chat and then everyone else can tell sit the person down because... They've done a super chat, so if you in the chat can just deal with it, then I don't need to bother. Remember when you wanted Bruno out? Now he's broken the assist record. Sat you down, you hater. Okay, I'll leave that one to the chat. It's not even worth me getting rage baited by it. Also, finishing on 71 points after last season's 15th is progress, says M. Thank you very much for that. Put Dorgu on the left wing. Well, you know, it's... How's your predictions going with Robbie? Good point, actually. Well... He's not doing very well. No, he's not going to catch me up. As things stand at the moment, he won't catch me up. Will there be predictions again with Robbie, says Eras. Dorgu nearly just scored again. I didn't look. We could get a few goals here. Legend Mark says, Sean, why the Premier League getting one more Champions League spot only when Villa finish 5th and not 4th? I don't get it, says Red Devil Germany. I don't get it. All I know is that because 5th place is allocated to us because of our coefficient... That 5th place is our spot. So if Villa are in 5th place and they don't need the spot because they've won the Champions League, then yeah, it just ends up being moved down. But I don't know why it doesn't happen if we're fourth, if Villa finish fourth. Sunderland are now 2-0 up against Chelsea. They are in the Europa League. It's a goal by Gusto. And Reece James has gone off for Chelsea. I don't know whether that's an injury. That could be a World Cup spot. Ahmad with the shot. We could score a few goals here. Brighton are playing absolutely shit. Their heads are gone. I'm just going to read you a tweet from the comedian Al Farran, because I think this guy is suffering from some sort of Carrick illness. He says, "There's absolute morons questioning Carrick as a manager. Look at that Mbeumo goal." So we're now not allowed to question giving the job to an interim manager with no experience for the second time because Mbeumo scored a good goal. I mean, these people are United fans. This is a United fan telling us we can't question the Carrick appointment because Mbeumo just scored a good goal. Mate, it's a little bit deeper than that. The reason some of us weren't happy with the Carrick appointment is because he's got no experience and we're Manchester United and we've done this before. Of course we want Carrick to do well. I've never heard anybody say, I don't want Carrick to get the job because I think he's an idiot. I think most people are saying, I wouldn't have given Carrick the job because I'm scared of it going wrong again. That was the reason. But, you know, look, I respect people wanting to give the job to Carrick. But why is it they can't respect people going, I don't think this is the right thing to do? It's like some sort of dictatorship of, you know, we've all got to agree that Carrick's the best choice for the job. But some of us just are a little bit concerned about it. You know, prove it wrong, you know. Could be the first full 90-minute performance, says Marcus. I don't really think it's been a 90-minute performance, mate. It's just Brighton are brilliant to play against because you can counter-attack the shit out of them. I mean, look, 46%, 48% possession. It's been a very good counter-attacking performance, but I wouldn't say it was as good as Man City or Arsenal. I just think Brighton are a strange football team who you can really attack. And we could end up with six goals here if we keep going, because Brighton are all over the place. Lovely feat by Mainu. We might Fabian says we might accidentally get the Brighton manager sacked. Well, they may as well bring Baleba on, make it interesting. Island Boy Trucker says, is Brighton near the beach? Because they're playing like they're on it. They're all over the place. We can stat pad for data. Baleba's coming on. Baleba's coming on. This could get better or worse. Well, at least it makes it interesting. Left back or left winger? What do you think is most important? Says Nico. Left back. Adam Stock, thanks for your super chat. Thank you, Stephen. Hope your family's well as well. Nick says, to be honest, he isn't wrong, Mark. Mate, I am not being rage baited by thick people, so you can join his club as much as you like, but that's not what happened. Legend Mark, says Sean, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Dorgu over Cunha on left wing next season, says Marlow. We need to buy a left back then. Well, what Dorgu does is bring balance to the team. Because he's left-footed. It's that a left-footed winger makes, you know, aesthetically I just like it. None of this inverted shit. 30 goals and assists, they're on about Rice. Not even close, says Ernest. Thank you in the United Stand for all the hard work, says having a laugh. Really enjoyed tagging along for the ride. Well, it's been a pleasure having you with us as well. Minte puts the cross in. And a shot wide from Brighton. Dorgu overcut, done that one from Marlow. Thank you very much. Appreciate this. Oh, sorry, missed one. Missed the super chat here. Summer 2025, Bruno sale was considered. Goldbridge was 100% Bruno out, says Clangers. Oh, okay. I didn't really want to get into this, but it's really easy. Thick people just drown in their own stupidity. We ran a poll about a year ago, should Bruno leave Manchester United? And I think 70% said yes, but there was an asterisk. If he's going to play in the midfield, sell him. If he's going to play as a number 10, keep him. End of story. That's what that idiot's talking about. Thank you, Mark, for your support over the month with my husband losing his foot. You and the football community have kept me going. Looking forward to the World Cup, says Becky Hale. Yeah, well, it'll be an opportunity for you and your husband to get your feet up, won't it, Becky? And it's all right. She laughs at that. Belabor on play like Onana, then the board say no, says RPG. Well, he's on now. Sad not to see Matoma in the World Cup. Was looking forward to seeing Japan, says Backlash. Well, you can still watch Japan. You can still watch Japan. I hope you have a good summer, Becky, and your husband. And yeah, make sure you're on the World Cup watch-alongs. What's going on in the other games? Yeah, God, I forgot. Burnley have equalised against Wolves, which means Wolves are now bottom. Arsenal are 2-0 up against Palace. They've got a second goal, and it was scored by Madueke. And Burmo's just gone in hard on Dorgu, but he's up. Sorry, Belabor's just gone in on Dorgu, but he's up. And Fulham still beating Newcastle. Liverpool are beating Brentford. Bournemouth are in the Champions League. As things stand, Liverpool are beating Brentford. No, they're not. They're not, because Villa have equalised. Oh, that was short-lived. Jones has scored for Liverpool, but Villa have equalised against Man City, which means that Villa do stay in fourth place. As things stand, City would need to win that. Villa have equalised with a goal from Ollie Watkins. Ahmad just has a shot straight at the keeper. West Ham and Leeds 0-0. Spurs still winning 1-0. Sunderland 2-1 now with Chelsea. Chelsea with a goal back. Forest and Bournemouth are drawing as well. Cole Palmer scored for Chelsea. And Bournemouth, our equaliser, was from Tavernier. So for a split second, Bournemouth were in the Champions League, but that equaliser by Villa puts them back in fourth. Brighton, as things stand, are in eighth. Could all change. Thanks everyone who's watching, by the way. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Finally, a substitution for Man United. Lacey's going to come on and Dorgu's going to go off. He should make a few more subs. We're 3-0 up. 3-0 up with half an hour to go. Give Aiden Heaven and Lenny Oro a run out, for fuck's sake. Come on, get him on. Let's see what Lacey can do. Sorry, Reece James came on for Chelsea. If there's any Chelsea fans there, some people are saying that he's not injured. He actually came on. Chelsea have had a red card. No, sorry. Yeah, Chelsea have had a red card and Villa have scored. So Villa are beating Man City in Pep's last game. And Fofana's been sent off for... How many red cards have Chelsea had this season? Forget about assists. Maguire's just giving a free kick away here. Right on the edge of the box. And I'm sure that's not Fofana's first red card. I reckon Chelsea have had 5 red cards this season. I really do. Yeah, hey, Carragher! Sit down, Carragher. How can Pep Guardiola be better than Sir Alex when he's losing to fucking Villa on his last game and he's lost the title to a guy that's not won the title ever with that team for 22 years? Oh, yeah, he's the best. He's the best. And Brentford have equalised against Liverpool as well. The goals are going in now. Villa are 2-1 up against City. Ollie Watkins again. Assisted by Niles Barkley. Sorry, Ross Barkley. No, it was Barkley. Ross Barkley with the assist. And Liverpool have conceded against Brentford. 1-1. Free kick to Brighton here. It's a long way out. Straight into it. Hits his own player with the free kick. That sort of sums up Brighton today. They've been shit. So, Brighton losing 3-0 here. Burnley 1-1 with Wolves. Palace losing to Arsenal 2-0. Fulham beating Newcastle 1-0. Liverpool 1-1 with Brentford. Man City losing 2-1 to Villa at home in Pep's last game. Forest 1, Bournemouth 1. Sunderland 2-1 up against 10 men Chelsea. 2-1 up against 10 men Chelsea. Tottenham 1-0 against Everton. And West Ham aren't even winning against Leeds either. So, that's where we are. Baleba plays like Mainu. Thoughts, says Tull. Baleba has been on the pitch for 2 minutes and he's not even touched the ball. And the commentators are saying he's made a difference. Really, says Ashish. Ruben Amorim to Man City next season. I feel he will do much better over there than he done by us, says Gattu's Jules. You do know that they've given it to... Maresca. Why do we need a backup goalkeeper when we've got Vitek, who's just won Player of the Year, Young Player of the Year, and Players Player of the Year? Good point, Andy. Dorgu is just doing left-back's job and we enjoy it because we haven't seen that for years. We should sign a left-winger and just play Dorgu at left-back, sweeping up the flank, says BRT. Poor Baleba audition, says having a laugh. Chelsea red card, says Stephen. Dorgu as left-winger has got 4 goals and 4 assists in 6 games. That's incredible, SK. That is absolutely incredible. Suspicious Mallard says, I will not be baited into Carrick at the wheel, but he has gave himself an opportunity as I see it. One positive I see from this match is a lot of 1-3 touch passes. Very progressive. Keep up the good work. Yeah, and look, United are comfortable at 3-0 with 25 minutes to go, and we thoroughly deserve to be winning the game. It's a counter-attacking performance, though. Look, 48%. Teams who play a high line are perfect for United. I said this even when Amorim was here. I think United are a very good team against teams that don't play a low block, which is why I think we do very well against the Man Cities and the Arsenals and the Liverpools and the Brightons, because, you know, Brighton aren't a Liverpool or a Man City or an Arsenal, but a Liverpool or an Arsenal or Man City, they want to attack so you can counter them. Brighton want to attack so you can counter them. Not spoken enough, but as not spoken about enough, but as much as we need a left back, we also need a right back. Are Mazraoui and Dalot good enough, says Emmanuel. Maybe Baleba will play himself out of being bought, says Exponents. Sign me for Baller League. I'll be the GOAT, says Chris. And Ethan says, we're 3-0 up. He's broken the record. Might as well get some minutes on for the kids. Yeah, I'd bring Yoro. I mean, I just don't understand why Yoro and Heaven aren't on. You know, they must just sit there going, you know, Which young players would you like to see come on in the second half? And is there a shout for Lacey to get more game time? Respect for the season, mate, says Adam. Well, Lacey's on the pitch now. So he's swapped with Ahmad. He's on the right. Ahmad's on the left. So hopefully we'll get to see him on the ball a little bit. The only other young player on the pitch who can come on is Fletcher. Oh, Belaber's definitely trying to audition. 100%. Yeah, Belaber's trying to do it all. You can see it. He needs to bloody just do his job here. Mark, hi Mark, I don't know anything about our signing from Atalanta. What are your thoughts on him, says Justin. Ederson, interesting player. I don't think he's as bad as some people make out, but I do agree that there are red flags for a 27-year-old who's never played in the Premier League before. But we do need to buy 4 midfielders. West Ham have scored, but it's going to be too late. They are 1-0 up against Leeds, but of course Tottenham are beating Everton 1-0 and they need to lose that game. I mean, if Everton could get 1 back, it would be very interesting. But as it stands, it is 1-0 to West Ham. They've got a goal. Who scored? Castellanos. He's not a bad player, you know, from what I've seen. Oh, Michael Carrick's got an earpiece in. I thought he had like an abscess on his neck and a plaster. It's an earpiece. If we don't want another Solskjaer, they need to buy well in the summer, says Aymar. It's really good to see we've hit 71 points, says Aditio. Pep. That's a good observation, to be honest. A suspicious Mallard. Thank you very much. Pep better than Sir Alex Ferguson, but he's getting popped on by the Unk Ollie Wally, says Chris. If Pep understood Sir Alex's accent, history would have been written differently, says Ashish. And it's my birthday and it's a great present, says Mystical Monkey. Happy birthday, pal. Has Chelsea had penalty against them, says Stephen? Don't know. 8 reds for Chelsea in a Premier League season. That's got to be a record then, Christopher. It has to be. Pengas says it's a proper madness that Brighton haven't turned up. Had results gone all their way, they could have also got Champions League from 6th. Yeah, but I've said this about Brighton. Hertzler is a strange one. Brighton are the definition of inconsistent. Here's Lacey, and he smashes the ball into Kadioglu's face. Thanks for all the super chats, by the way. Appreciate those. And please do subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner. Aiden Heaven is just warming up with Lenny Oro. Hopefully he'll bring them on. We're 10 subscribers away from 265,000, by the way. So please click and subscribe. Still 20 minutes to go in this Premier League season. Mainu was a bit late on Dunk there, and he is on a yellow card. He's probably a little bit lucky to be on the pitch there, Mainu, because he slid into a tackle, didn't get the ball, caught Dunk late, and he's on a yellow card. But it's fine. We're playing on. Referee's not going to do anything about it. But he definitely could have got a second yellow there, and I think that's what Dunk was talking about. But we move on, because obviously that would be a suspension for the first game of the season, which we don't want. I'd love. The Tottenham game has kicked off a little bit later than everybody as well, because we're in the 71st minute and they're in the 66th, which is strange because everybody's meant to kick off at the same time. Look, have a look at Belabor, right? I've always said this. I don't like his running style, and I don't like how he is on the ball. I think it's just not smooth. You know, if you look at someone like Mount or Mainu, it's a very... There's a smoothness to how they play. I'm not saying they're the best players in the world, but there's a smoothness to it. Belabor's just very sort of like... I don't even know what the words are, but there's just something about Belabor and the way he moves that I just don't think is very smooth for a midfielder. Xerxes and Fletcher are going to come on here. This is good to see. These will probably be Xerxes' last minutes in a Man United shirt as well. Stephen's gifted a membership. Thank you very much. When was the last time we finished 71 points or more, says Raphael? 2 years ago with Ten Hag. He got 75. When's the last... please say hi to my friend Ashley. She listens to you every week. We will both see United against Atletico in Stockholm in August. Much love from Sweden, says K Hobby. Yeah, let us know where you're watching from. Shout out to Ashley in Sweden. Thank you very much. I hope you've all enjoyed today. Mazraoui's going to come off as well here. Can you please do Coxey and Carrick's ear, says Marlowe. I don't really... I need to figure out... Mount's gone off. I need to figure out how Wilcox talks. I've never heard him talk. Never a red, it's May, says Slazy. Edison's the same. He's way stiff, says Wan. To be fair, that's not a bad point, Wan. You're right. Edison, when you watch Edison on the ball, he's not smooth either. There must be a word for it. Like, I don't think smooth is the right word. It's like Belabor on the ball just doesn't look like, you know, even like Luke Shaw on the ball, it's smooth. Lewis Dunk there on the ball, it's smooth. Van Heck on the ball, it's smooth. There's just something about Belabor that's just a little bit like... Yeah, and you're right, Edison's a bit like that as well. Here he is. Watch. He's won a free kick there. Edison is the same, says that. Yeah, not lethargic, not trampolines. I'm not saying it's actually not a reason I don't like him. I just think it's just not fluid. I think fluid's the best word I've seen. It's a bit like chaotic. Off topic, live stream Elden Ring, says Schnell. I've never played it. Carrick's contract was given on the basis that Coxey gets to help with tactics through his earpiece, says Diva. Belabor is unaesthetic on the ball, in my opinion, says Luke. Staggered is the word, says Sir Joy. Andy Atherton says, I'm telling you now, Mark, Bruno's overrated. If he was any good, he would score the goals himself instead of passing it all the bloody time. Pick a card. Never a red. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know. Ricky is on the fan forum. You'll be in the live chat after my match reaction. Do your player ratings. Maybe have a word with Ricky about Bruno and say he's broken the Premier League all-time assist record. Would you seriously, you know, not put him in a Leeds Man United combined 11, which is what he did? You know, he put bloody Aronson in a combined 11 over Bruno. I mean, the guy's just broken the bloody Premier League record. Is today the day where Ricky says I'm wrong? You know, he might not be my style of player, but he's clearly a brilliant player. You know. Good play by Mainu into Lacey. Yoro's on now as well for Maguire. I always describe Belabor as static as a player from Belfast, says Suspicious Mallard. Wan says Belabor's trying so hard to stand out. He's mid. Yeah, I think he has been trying. He is trying. Well, you know what? He should have tried all season. It's a fair point, isn't it? You can see he's trying and he's had a couple of good runs, but maybe he should have done that every other game because that's what's going to get Fernandes a move. Oh, here we go. Mistake at the back. Bruno, he'll go for another assist here. Oh, I tell you what, I think he was going for another assist there because I think he could have actually tried to chip the keeper. Lacey and wide. Bruno's the best player in the Premier League, so Stephen. He is this season. That's why he's won Player of the Year. I think you're saying Shaw and Mount are a bit more fluid with the ball compared to Baleba, says Mello. Yeah, you don't have to be an amazing player to be fluid on the ball. I just think some players, like some people said Pogba wasn't fluid on the ball. Oh my God, he was. He was. Right, watch Baleba here. See if he does it. Yeah, you see there, it just didn't feel like he's... I think what it is, he never looks like he's fully in control of the ball. So it's a bit cash. He's a bit casual on the ball, isn't he? I mean, we're really scrutinising him here. It's probably not fair, but he should be moving there as well. He's got to move. He's occupied. He's got to move. He's got to move. He's pointing to everyone else. Look at him. Moving. That's exactly where he should have gone. That pass should have gone to him. Fletcher. Minte. I thought he got the ball. It doesn't matter, you're losing 3-0. Who's not the best non-fluid player ever, says Mr. Sausage. Winger and Maguire almost came back, says Unorthodox. He pushed him in the back, to be fair. Referee's made the right call there. Unorthodox, says Keel. Oh, God, hamstring. David says, Baleba's energy seems to have cut off real quick. Came out guns blazing, but he looks absolutely knackered now. What's going on? Everton are still winning, still losing to Tottenham. So even though West Ham are winning, yeah, bit of an anticlimax. Villa are still beating City. Liverpool are still drawing to Brentford. So Bournemouth won't be in the Champions League. That's not that would Man City would need to score 2 and Liverpool would need to score. So it looks like no Champions League spot for Bournemouth. It will be Europa. Burnley and Wolves are 1-1. Newcastle, Fulham still 1-0 to Fulham. Sunderland are still beating 10-man Chelsea. So the way the league table looks at the moment is that I think we can safely say Brighton would be in the Conference League and Sunderland and Bournemouth would be in the Europa League, and Chelsea and Newcastle would not be in anything. Because it's the top 8, I think. Top 5 get Champions League, next 2 get Europa League, and then 8th place gets the Conference League. Which means nothing for Brentford, nothing for Chelsea. Obviously, Newcastle are losing anyway. So Conference League for Brighton might not be too... I mean, Brighton would probably win the Conference League. To be fair, Brighton might win the Europa League. Next year, we might not win. Next year, Premier League might not win the Europa League. Sunderland and Bournemouth, could they win the Europa League? Tough. Tough. Malassia's coming on. Luke Shaw won't be happy. Can't believe he's subbing me off. I'm Luke Shaw. What's he subbing me off for? I've played every game. What if Tuchel's been watching the Spurs game and he comes on for the last 10 minutes? I don't care if it's his last game. I'm Luke Shaw. I'm Luke Shaw. I should be... What? Michael Carricky. What if Tuchel only watches the last 10 minutes? It's my last chance. No, he was smiling. We're just having a bit of comedy. We're having a bit of comedy there. Bournemouth not getting the Champions League spot means Sporting goes straight into the league phase, says Litos. God knows how that works. How are your predictions with Robbie working out, says J-Lo. Well, I've got a 5-point gap, and I feel like it's safe because he hasn't got enough points. I've got a draw between Burnley and Wolves. Neither of us had a United win. I had an Arsenal win. He had a Palace draw. He had Fulham win. I had Newcastle win. We both had Liverpool. We both had City. I had a draw for Bournemouth. He had a Bournemouth win. Sunderland, he had Sunderland to win. I had a draw. Spurs draw. I had a Spurs win. West Ham win. I've got more points than him again anyway. He's wearing a Man United shirt outside Old Trafford. Baleba forcing the Xavi field scanning joke, says Chris. And I think we've played well today. However, this is a display of what we expect every Saturday, like the old days, to compete for top titles, says Suspicious. Mate, if we'd have lost 3-0, I wouldn't have given a shit. So I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say that winning 3-0 makes a big difference. Look, I think if Michael Carrick didn't have the job, I think we'd be saying a lot of people would be saying give him the job. He's got the job now. The performance has been very much what we've been doing for the last 3 or 4 months, which is not conceding many goals and scoring goals from set pieces and countering well. So I think today has been a reflection of what Carrick's reign has been, which is results-wise very good. The real questions are next season. Nothing that happened today was going to change that. It's about the summer transfer window, and it's about how we deal when it's not an interim job anymore, it's a permanent job, and it's 2 games a week. So I'm ready for that. I want to see what we do in the summer. I think today's been a very good result. There's been some good individual performances. It's going to be a clean sheet. And, you know, Champions League football is the big thing. But I mean, look, if this is the best Baleba can offer in a cameo, forget it. He doesn't look any good against Fletcher. So has United put him on against Fletcher on purpose? Sorry, have United put Fletcher on against Baleba on purpose to try and make him look good? He ain't a Man United signing for me. I've said it all season, and he is not a Man United signing for me. Haven't watched the game. What do you think of Baleba? Says MGT. Not very good. Not very good. I mean, what are your thoughts on Baleba? I know it's only 20 minutes. I've seen a lot of him this season, and that's pretty much what you get. The fact that he started Milner over him, says a lot. Tottenham winning the Premier League next season, says Grand Prix. Hey, look, you know what? Tottenham, 1 game a week. Chelsea, 1 game a week. Newcastle, 1 game a week. That's a challenge for Liverpool and Man United next season, and Aston Villa. Man United, Liverpool and Villa, we're playing Champions League football and the Premier League. Chelsea, Spurs and Newcastle, 1 game a week. That will be a challenge for us next season, and we've got to be up for it. Haven't watched the game. What do you think of Baleba, says MGT. Baleba Force, I've done that one. Thank you very much for that. Thanks for your work this season. Big shout out to the community, says Stephen Banham. Well, thank you very much to you, sir. Should we sign Baleba, Paul? Remember they want 70 million for him as well. I think Brighton messed up last year. Oh, Brighton with a chance. Oh, good save, Le Mans. Look, we're going to concede chances in the last 10 minutes. We've got bloody Malacia on at left back. Yeah, I just tweeted. I was just writing it there, but I put Baleba. Brighton were offered 60 million plus add-ons by Man United last summer. I think that's probably one of the stupidest things they've rejected. They wanted 100 million. Carrick doesn't rate heaven. It's sad, says Inu. Yeah, I don't really get that. I don't really get what that's all about. I would say this has been one of the best Premier League seasons in years. A title race, a relegation battle, and in smaller teams in Europe. Thanks, Mark, for the work, says Daniel. I think it has been an interesting Premier League in relation to the league table. I think the quality of the football's been a bit shit. Hopefully they'll get rid of the... hopefully they'll get rid of the long throw-ins and the corners and stuff like that next season. I'm hoping in the World Cup they change all that. Do you think Bruno's got a chance to win the Ballon d'Or? No. No. I think if you're not playing in the Champions League, you've got no chance. Yeah. Stephen says, big shout out to the community. Thanks for your work. Thank you very much. I'm just saying this is what we need week in, week out. I do agree with you. Today is not a reflection on next season, but it's a good one in contrast to Ollie. It's a nice way to close the season, Suspicious Mallard, yeah. It is a nice way to finish the season. West Ham are winning 2-0, but too little too late. Yoro's just hit the bar from a corner. Yeah, West Ham are winning 2-0 now. Jared Bowen has scored, but Everton are still 1-0 down. And, you know, didn't get the memo. Didn't get the memo, did they, Everton? Let me just tell you what Everton have done in that game. They're losing 1-0 to Tottenham. And they've not had a shot on target all game. Yeah, it's a bit shit, isn't it? You know, I know anybody can do what they want to do in the last few games of the season, but I would have hoped that Everton would actually have a go. You know, last game of the season. Why not have a go, you know? No shots on target. It's a shame. But it's good for us, Fernandes, you know. Oh, Bruno's limping here. I really, you know, he never gets injured. He can't get injured for the World Cup. That would be horrific. No, Michael Carrick hasn't got an earpiece. He has actually cut his neck. Everyone's saying it's Wilcox in his ear. He has actually cut his neck. I was right. He has got something on his neck. You can see the blood. He's probably been bit by the Glazers, the fucking vampires. They've gone for his neck, haven't they? Right, player ratings. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. It's the final one of the season. Get ready for that. "90 minutes. I don't think there's any... I'd blow the whistle now, ref. Man of the match goes to Bruno on Sky. Does he get your man of the match? Man City have equalised, but it's gone to VAR. Fulham are 2-0 up against Newcastle now. Palace have got a goal back against Arsenal. Man City's goal's not been given. Just seeing, actually, player ratings. Is it in the video description? Is there an 8 o'clock show tonight? I don't know. I might do a quick transfer show at 8 o'clock. I feel like that might not be a bad idea. If you want me to, smash a like on the video or something. You know, let me know. Let me know. Bit of a transfer show, I think. Well, we need to move on. Season's over. Next. Yeah, player ratings is in the video description. Let me whack it into the chat for you. Yeah, Bruno won't get Ballon d'Or because he didn't play in the Champions League. Yeah, looks like we're doing an 8 o'clock show. Yeah, I've just pinned it in the live chat. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. I mean, the amazing thing is, again, we've won 3-0 and it's 49% possession. You know what? I think actually Opta are doing something because how is it we cannot have 50% possession? Carrick averages like 48% possession over 4 months. And even though we've won 3-0, it's still 49% possession. Baleba loses the ball. Fucking hell, he's shit. He is so shit. He's just lost the ball and Ahmad could score here. Shoot, Lacey. Lovely feet. Oh, he's still got it. No, Baleba's won it back. Mate, this guy is trash. He's knackered. He's only been on the pitch 20 minutes and he's absolutely fucked. Look how tired he is. He came on about 20 minutes ago. I'm sorry, like, if we sign him, I'll give him a chance. But where are all these bloody believers? The guy's crap. He's so bad. Crazy. And this is where he's trying. This is his audition. It's like Ian Beale bloody auditioning for a Scorsese film. Great tackle there by Yoro. 6 minutes added on. Yeah, Tottenham are going to stay up. Everton didn't have a shot on target. Wasters. Chelsea won't be in Europe. Newcastle won't be in Europe. Spurs obviously won't be in Europe. Oh, I tell you what, I'm so glad Liverpool are keeping Slot. Brian says forced hatred. Mate, I don't hate anybody. Grow up. The fact is, it's not forced hatred. Let's say what it is. You think Baleba's a good player. He's been fucking trash. And therefore, you label anybody who says he's trash as a hater. Mate, he's been fucking rubbish all season and he's been rubbish today. Own it. Admit you're wrong. That Man United should not be going anywhere near him. That's not hatred, it's facts. It's there in front of us. He's rubbish. He's rubbish, mate. He's rubbish. And you think he's good and he's rubbish. Just own it. He's rubbish. He's rubbish. It's like that Tyson Fury clip, isn't it? You've been baited, mate. You're talking about him being our midfielder. He's rubbish. He's absolutely rubbish, mate. Trust me. He's been like it all season. Best of luck to him. Best of luck to him for the rest of his career. But Man United shouldn't be going anywhere near him. If I said to you, let's go and sign bloody Digne as our left back, you'd be like, he's fucking rubbish. He's rubbish. There's nothing wrong with saying he's rubbish. He's rubbish. Shouldn't be going anywhere near him. Bloody 52-year-old James Milner starts instead of him. That's the final whistle. Not a rubbish performance from Man United. 71 points for the season. A clean sheet. 3 goals. Bruno breaks the record. Bruno, do not go anywhere near Baleba. You fucking idiot, Bruno. That's it. You're not my man of the match. Talk to Anderson. Don't talk to Baleba. You can talk to Anderson. Don't talk to him. Don't be bloody talking to him. He's rubbish. I'm joking. No, he is rubbish. Okay, right. Let's get over to the player ratings. Mark every player out of 10. 6 being the average. Looking forward to the final player ratings show of the season. Get yourself over there. I'll see you there in a minute.